Deoxys-Defense. Able to sponge up attacks pretty well with its high base defenses, yet although low HP, and its attack stats are not exactly significant. However, we're going to be trying out a defensive Deoxys stall team and see how well it can perform. This is a pressure stall as well as a toxic stall Deoxys-Defense team. Let's break it down. First, we have Deoxys-Defense with the weakness policy, which might catch some players off guard with the pressure ability. Of course, pressure is not normally a great ability in VGC, but because of the fact that there are so many moves that are really strong in the format that only have 8 power points maximum, that means they can only use it 4 times max. That could actually be really impactful, because if they run out of their power points or are careless with it, then they won't be able to use their signature moves nearly as powerful and spam those attacks. So this is what the Deoxys-Defense is supposed to accomplish on this team. And we have the weakness policy, and realistically, I don't think the item matters too much on Deoxys-Defense. The reason I have weakness policy is because I felt like, sure, I could run leftovers on Deoxys-Defense, but I don't think it's that big of a deal, because in my imagination that the Deoxys-Defense is going to get knocked off several times by an Incineroar. So I kind of wanted a way to really punish that, at least without like losing too much, and I felt like weakness policy could be really cool. I had initial ideas of running like Shadow Ball with Deoxys-Defense, being able to live stuff like Calyx, Shadow Rider, Astro Barrage, and then KO'd him back with Shadow Ball. So that was kind of the idea of weakness policy, as well as like Terra Ground, Terra Blast, being able to catch off guard, especially like into an Incineroar, as well as a few other Pokemon like Miraidon and more. So that's kind of the idea of this Deoxys-Defense. Ground Terra type to help out against Miraidon, Incineroar, Chi-Yu offensively, and be able to put on a good amount of pressure that way. With Psychic, Terra Blast, Trick Room, Protect. Again, I had Shadow Ball initially, but I decided I felt like this team needed speed control in some form. Otherwise, it was just going to get overwhelmed by a lot of the faster teams. So we're running Trick Room on the Deoxys. That was over Shadow Ball. So a lot of the ideas actually kind of like left over here, because this Deoxys-Defense was designed to be able to survive a Life Orb, Calyx, Shadow Rider, Astro Barrage. So that's kind of like the idea here. That's why it's max HP, because it has really low HP. And then Calm 108 allowed you to live the Life Orb or Astro Barrage from Calyx, Shadow Rider. And then 124 special attack was the remainder, because I think with Intimidate, Will-O-Wisp support, you don't really need the extra defense boost, really. Deoxys-Defense is such a bulky Pokemon. Even with its low HP, it'll be able to absorb those attacks. And again, I initially was supposed to have Shadow Ball so I could threaten the Calyx, Shadow Rider. So I don't know if weakness policy is really the best option anymore. However, I think it could definitely maybe catch some opponents off guard if used. Next Pokemon we have is the standard Assault Vest Rillaboom with the Grassy Surge to summon the Grassy Terrain, make Grassy Glide priority as well with the Fire Terra type, which is just a really good defensive typing against really strong Fire and Ice type moves. Wood Hammer, Grassy Glide, Fake Out, and U-Turn is a pretty standard Rillaboom moveset. Wood Hammer is just really powerful, especially with the Grassy Terrain boost. Grassy Glide for priority, Fake Out, of course, just being able to be a good support option, and then U-Turn to be able to pivot around with this team. UV spread wise, this is a very special defensive Rillaboom to help out against the Miraidon cores, being able to live a Helping Hand Draco Meteor from the Miraidon, especially outside of the electric terrain, and just being able to survive, for instance, +2 Calyx, Shadow Rider, Astro Barrage, which is very helpful. Rillaboom is just supposed to be a nice pivot, very helpful into Kyogre teams as well. Just a good Pokemon in general, what can I say? Next Pokemon we have is a Safety Goggles Incineroar to help out against any powder moves, specifically the Amoonguss, as well as having the Intimidate ability to lower the attack on both Pokemon on the opposing side. The Bug Terra type that is able to resist ground as well as fighting moves that are super effective into the Incineroar while being neutral to Surging Strikes from Urshifu with Fake Out, Parting Shot, Knockoff, and Will-O-Wisp. It is the Incineroar I decided to bring to Worlds. It has the same roles, or basically it does have the best chance to be able to live Surging Strikes from Urshifu, Rapid Strike if they're Adamant max attack, because this gives you the same rules as like max defense Incineroar. And yeah, still a good amount of special defense to take on the Astral Barrages from Calyx, Shadow Rise, and Moongeist Beams from Lunala, and more. So across the board, it is pretty standard support. Incineroar just allows you to pivot around, allows the Ho-Oh and the Deoxys to take attacks, and Willis is really important for Zamazenta, as well as the physical attacks. Like sometimes if you're able to pin the Rapid Strike Urshifu, and of course like one big threat is going to be Calyx Ice Rider, which is a big one. So I do want that Wisp for the Calyx Ice Rider as well, and that's another reason why Wisp Incineroar is here to support the team. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Rocky Helmet Ho-Oh with the Regenerator ability, which is very helpful. When you switch out, you heal 33% of the maximum HP, so it is very nice. The Fairy Terra defensive type is just really good into the Draco Meteor Miraidon, which is just really solid. It's a good defensive typing across the board, being able to resist body press from Zamazenta especially. And yeah, it's a pretty good overall typing with Protect, Life Dew, Whirlwind, and Sacred Fire. It's a pretty good stall defensive hull set. It was a very big blast when I first tried out the team. And if you might notice, we've actually tried a very similar team. It originally had Terapagos over the Deoxys-Defense, and that's kind of where this idea for the team came from. Because Deoxys is a really defensive one, but it's able to stall out the Astral Barrages a little bit better thanks to the pressure, and I felt like I could maybe provide a bit more offense into Urshifu. So that's kind of why Deoxys-Defense is taking over a recreation of like this O team that was performing pretty well with Overqwil that was able to qualify for the Japan Nationals. So this is the idea of having these pieces together with the Ho-Oh that's just able to support the Deoxys-Defense. Originally, I also had Recover as an idea on Deoxys-Defense, but I decided against it. But I did really like the idea of having Recovery on the Deoxys. So Life Dew, I think, is just really nice. A Pokemon that's really good, again, into like Shadow Rider Calyrex, good into the non-Meteor Beam Lunala. So I think just having the idea of having Ho-Oh as a really nice defense mon paired with Deoxys-Defense, it's a really bulky core that is really hard to break through. And this Ho-Oh is just able to heal the allies. The Whirlwind is just nice for the setup mons to deny them from being able to actually utilize that setup. And of course, we have T-Spikes on the Overqwil, so you can spread the poisons around. And Sacred Fire, such a strong fire type move with a 50% chance to burn, very helpful. EV spread wise, it is a very defensive Ho-Oh indeed. Max HP, 236 defense and 20 special defense, already has a really solid special defense stat, so just invest the most in the physical. And yeah, it's really hard to break through this Ho-Oh with double Intimidate, Will-less support, Sacred Fire, burn chance, as well as just all the defensive tools that you have. Going to be really hard to break through this Ho-Oh. Next Pokemon we have is the Leftovers Overqwil, allowing it to heal itself, especially the extra healing from the combination of Leftovers and Grassy Terrain really stacks up over time. With the Intimidate ability, we already know how good this ability is with Incineroar, and having two of it at the same time are really great into Pokemon that don't have the Clear Amulet. With the Fairy Terastallization, which I thought could be pretty interesting. I don't know if it's necessary, but the extra fact that having that Fairy Terastallization can be useful for just overall like a Draco Meteor from the Miraidon, I felt like was very much appreciated. So just having that extra Fairy Terastallization just in case. The moveset here protects, of course, with Bar Barrage, Throat Chop, and Toxic Spikes. Bar Barrage is an interesting poison move, has a chance to poison, but also does double damage if the opponent is already poisoned, which is nice. Throat Chop, of course, being able to prevent the sound moves from getting used from opposing sides for 2 turns, which is nice because you could Throat Chop in front of a Parting Shot instant and they aren't able to pivot, and then they hopefully take more damage from poison from the Toxic Spike, because this team can really just be able to stall out teams utilizing the poison and the defensive core, of course, of the Deoxys, the Ho-Oh, as well as like multiple pivot mons with fake out support. EV spread wise, this is just a super specially defensive Overqwil that we have used before on the channel. Max HP gives it the maximum amount of recovery you can get from Grassy Terrain plus Leftovers. A lot of special defense because it's pretty necessary, because Overqwil doesn't have the best special defense in the world, and because you have double Intimidate and again multiple ways to burn opponents, just having 52 remainder in the physical defense. But overall, Overqwil is a pretty solid Pokemon. It's really great into Fairy Terastallization Lunala, which is pretty nice, as well as just like another answer to Calyx Shadow Rider. Another resist is always welcomed, especially since Deoxys-Defense is weak to the Calyx Shadow Riders, unlike like Terapagos that have been used on this team before. So having just multiple resists, I think, is very helpful on this team. Final Pokemon on this team is going to be the Wellspring Ogerpon with the Water Absorb ability that allows it to heal if it takes a water type attack with the Water Terastallization with Ivy, Cudgel, Hornleech, Follow Me, and Spiky Shield. Overall, I think Ogerpon is pretty nice as an addition to this team, because I think the Kyra matchup can be really weak with this team. Doesn't have the best switch-ins other than Rillaboom, and Water Spout plus the combination of Bleak Wind does really hurt. So having the combination of being able to just switch in and get that recovery is pretty nice. Threaten with the Hornleech, redirect the Surging Strikes from Rapid Strike Urshifu is also appreciated, because otherwise Surging Strikes can be a little bit hard to switch into. Overall, I think it's a very helpful mon for those specific scenarios. EV spread wise, it is just max HP, 76 attack with Inanimate Nature, gives an extra stat points attack, and having some good physical and special defense investments. So this Ogerpon really is designed to take on the Rapid Strike Urshifu if the team can struggle against it, as well as the Kyogres especially, because this Pokemon is really important to deal damage into Kyogre and allow the Kyogre not to be able to blow up everything with a very powerful Water Spout, because even Rillaboom in the rain does not appreciate those Water Spout combinations. So how to use the team across the board, a lot of it is going to be by stalling out your opponent. You have multiple ways to stall them out, with Burn from both Ho-Oh Sacred Fire as well Willis from Incineroar. You have T-Spikes as well, and Overquill if you decide to go with that route, and stall out with, again, a bunch of recovery modes with just Life Dew with the Ho-Oh, the Regenerator that's able to switch out. You have multiple pivoting moves as well with Rillaboom and Incineroar. Double Fake Out, you have the Grassy Terrain to recover your side of the field. The Deoxys-Defense that's just able to stick around. It's really hard to remove Deoxys-Defense. And the Wellspring Ogerpon is just really nice with Redirection plus the ability to be really useful into that Kyogre and Urshifu matchup, as I said before. So a lot of the different leads you can lead, of course, just Fake Out Trick Room with Deoxys. You could also just lead Ho-Oh, start firing off some Sacred Fires immediately, maybe try to go for some status. You could go with Overquill lead plus one of the Fake Out Mons to set up the T-Spikes. There are quite a few different ways that you can lead off with this team, but overall it is the same. Just trying to wear down your opponent, reduce their damage output, and then take some more favorable trades afterward, as well as just recover off the damage, because you have multiple forms of recovery, especially thanks to the Life Dew on the Ho that is just able to stick around properly if positioned well. If you'd like to check out the details of the team, they'll be linked in the description down below, and let me know in the comments down below which is your favorite form of Deoxys, because I really like all the Deoxys forms. It's really hard to say. Obviously in competitive, Attack would probably be the best in a mythical format in general, or just anywhere, but overall I really like all the designs of Deoxys. I think it's just really hard, so let me know what yours are in the comments down below, but otherwise let's get started and play some games. All right, we have Miraidon, Calyx, Shadow Rider, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Urshifu, and Iron Valiant. Okay. Gonna be a bit spooky. Definitely gonna be a bit spooky here. I do like Deoxys as a lead potential. This is strange. I'm trying to figure this out. Is it Overquill lead? Because I need Rillaboom. I think I'm showcasing Deoxys, so I am going to bring the Deoxys. If I bring Ho-Oh, maybe no Ho-Oh, but no Life Dew would kind of stink in this matchup. But I think it's probably... it would not be great to not have Ho-Oh, but great because it's like a good special defensive monster. But you know what? We'll try it out. I'm going to bring Deoxys. I'm going to bring... Rilla or Incin? Let's see. I think Incin's probably better as a lead. Have Rillaboom and Overquill back. Overquill seems good with T-Spike setup. So I think if I can get T-Spike set up, I'm in a great spot. I don't know if this is Nasty Plot Cali or not, because that's a big one. I feel like on this kind of fast offensive paced team, it looks like Encore, especially you could do like Disable Shenanigans with Iron Valiant, but we'll see. Rillaboom Calyx is probably a pretty good lead for me as we lead Deoxys plus Incin, okay? Are you Nasty Plot is going to be one really good question. So I could either go Overquill, or I could Trick Room immediately, or I could Protect. They're probably faking out Incin and targeting the Deoxys with Astro. I do live Astro Barrage as long as this isn't Specs Cali. I have no idea if this is Specs Cali though. I think we're just going to Protect Parting turn one. And I don't think this is Plot, but we'll see if it is, I suppose. If I got my Incin, this is Astral. Okay. We get to confirm the damage here too, which is also nice. Okay, it doesn't look like Life Orb. Oh, it is Life Orb. I thought it wasn't. Okay. So that's nice. That is nice. Now I can go to Overquill and Parting Shot out the Cali. I think I'm going to go Overquill. 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 I think I'm going to go Over Because I think they just go for Astral Barrage plus Wood Hammer, or they might U-turn Protect. That's also another play, but I don't know if they would do that. Because that could give me momentum if I like have Trick Room, which I do have Trick Room. So I'm hoping that they respect that option, but we'll see. Overquill will get Intimidated off. Era? No, they Protect. Should have whisked then. Should have whisked the Rilla slot. It was like a gamble here. Okay. So I just got to remember to myself, they only have 6 Astral Barrages left. Which is important to always count this. Who's coming in? Because I have 2 dark types right now on the field. That is insane. Okay. As I parting attempted, I do get lefties, or not lefties, grassy terrain. I'm just gonna throw chop the Cali, and I'm gonna go for a parting shot into the Cali. They applaud, they applaud. Not much I can do about it. But I can get Rilla in and start threatening some wood hammers. They switch out to Cali, which is actually kind of nice for me. But what are you going out into? Ursh? Or Rhydon? Okay. Interesting. So they brought both terrain users in this game. They usually run Scarf more Rhydon this kind of build. A fake out? Alright. I get a free throat chop into the Miraidon. Okay. I don't think this is that bad. Unless they flare let's pin my instant slot, but I think I just attempt to get a T-Spike up and go Rilla. Which I don't hate. I think Terra-wise, I'm going to try to go for a Terra on my Deoxys, but I need to KO the Rillaboom first, or at least heavily weaken it. Bring out Rilla. Instead of the T-Spikes, this is probably Volt Switch into the Instant, which is fine. Oh, they targeted my Overgrowth. Okay, that's fine too. Yeah, it's probably Scarf. I didn't take that much damage. You're probably going back into Rilla, right? I don't think you ever risk your Shadow Rider here. Yeah, perfect. Free T-Spike. Are you going for Parting Shot to get back in Miraidon? Oh, they knock off my Assault Vest, which is fine. I don't mind that. Okay. So that's pretty good for me, I'd say. Yeah, that's pretty good for me, I'd say. Because now I think I just protect my Overquill, and I think I'm going to swap out my Rilla to go out into... I want to go Deoxys, or do I want to go Instant? I think I go Instant. I always want to have grassy terrain in the back for the Miraidon to make sure it doesn't snowball out of control. So I think Instant and Protect is always safe here. Because I don't... Like, if they go for a fake out pivoting move, it might be into Overquill. So I don't want them to get a pivot out, potentially, if they go greedy for the Overquill. Yeah, they U-turned into my Overquill. Beautiful. Flare Blitz? Wisp. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Nice. And now I'm getting a bunch of recovery with my Overquill. I'm in a pretty good spot, I'd say. My Ensign is getting healed up as well, which is nice. I think I always go for knockoff and Barbarage into the... I could go for a Barbarage and knockoff, or I could parting shot here. Both aren't bad. I could also throw chop the instant so they can't parting shot out as well, which is also pretty tempting. I think I'm going to go for throw chop actually into instant. Actually, nah, they might not, because they might just be fearing all the poison. So I think I'm going to go for parting shot and Barbarage into the Rilla. Yeah, they go for a U-turn, but whatever's coming in is taking a Barbarage and a parting shot, which is kind of massive. I think it has to be a Miraidon too. I don't think you could ever risk the Cali. Yeah, perfect. I get a lot of damage in a Miraidon, so that's actually pretty nice for the build-up. Yeah. Electric terrain appears, which is fine. Our barrage. Good damage. Okay, the question is, do I want to go Rilla or do I want to go... I think I always just go out into my Rilla. Where do I just go Deoxys? I don't mind going Deoxys here. I think I go Deoxys. Because if they knock off this slot, it's actually really, really good for me. If they want to stay in. And they parting shot, that's fine too. And if they U-turn, that's better. They do knock off, which is actually really good for me. Because I am able to get my weakness policy boost. Okay. So now I have a nice boost. And we can chip away at the Miraidon a little bit. I like the idea of getting in Rillaboom now. They Volt Switch the Overquill or not? I could also go for the Terra Ground Terra Blast, which I am very tempted to. I could also Terra Ground Trick Room. Actually, I should. I think Rillaboom's always correct. The question is, what am I doing with you? I think we Trick Room. I think I Trick Room in Terra Ground. I don't think they're Draco Meteoring my Deoxys. I think they're going to go for the electric move, but we'll see. They could also Volt Switch here, which is fine by me. And if they Electric Drift, that's completely okay. Because we're finally going to get offensive Deoxys, I think, onto a board where I can actually threaten some heavy damage, especially with Terra Ground Terra Blast. Nice. Is the Electric Drift knockoff? Nice. Really, really good turn. So now I'm going to go for Fake Out's Terra Blast into the Instant, and depending on the Instant slot, should be in a pretty good spot. I'm in a really good offensive slot or position. We're going to Fake Out. We're going to go for Terra Blast. Miraidon can't do much. It's going to switch out, which is fine. Probably into their own Rilla, but Rilla's going to get poisoned because of this. Yeah, this is looking really good. So here's a Fake Out. Are you Cover Cloak? Probably not. Rocky Helmet. That confirms no Cover Cloak. Beautiful. And here comes Terra Ground Terra Blast into Instant. I don't think this is going to KO, but this is going to do a lot of damage. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is a free instant swap for my Rillaboom to avoid any Fake Outs and any Wisp potential. As we just go for Protect. Or I could Psychic the Rilla and get the damage. Which is tempting because the Protect is obvious. But there's not really a reason to risk anything. So yeah, we're going to go Instant to get an Intimidate off into both. The Instant really can't swap in because it'd get poisoned and then knocked out, which is huge. But we'll see. And you really don't want to get Cali poisoned and the damage builds up. Okay, they went for the parting shot, so that's fine. Whatever's coming in is going to get poisoned. They U-turn as well. I wish I Psychicked, but then again, they could have Woodhammered as well. Because they didn't Grassy Glide and they didn't click Fake Out, so this is either Woodhammer or U-turn. Both are fine here for me. Miraidon in again, which is cool. It's still poisoned. And they don't have Grassy Terrain up. That means they can't go for Grassy Glide anymore. They actually went for a Woodhammer. So this is a free Fake Out into the Rillaboom as well as Psychic if I want. Or Terra Ground Terra Blast. The Miraidon slot also works. I think the Rilla should always retreat here coming up. I could knock off as well and just psychic for damage, which is also tempting. I have like a lot of ways that I could play with this. I think knock off the Rilla is fine, as well as like Terra Ground, Terra Blast, and Miraidon slot, because they might switch out Rilla, or they switch out Miraidon, so whatever's coming in is taking the damage, which is nice. Instant? It can't go Shadow Rider, right? Okay, it's instant. So I get the instant. I would have liked the faking out the Rillaboom in this case, but granted, still like not too bad. Yeah, I get a free knockoff. I get rid of the Assault Vest. I don't know what Hammer KOs. Oh, wait, the Rilla's faster than my Deoxys? Okay, was not expecting that. They take a lot of recoil. I actually was not expecting that. Wait, I thought Deoxys is like slower than Rillaboom naturally. Is that min speed Rilla? I guess it is. Okay. So the Shadow Rider is still a massive threat, but granted, like, I think I have pretty good tools at this point. This is Shadow Rider. Okay. They get poisoned out, so this is looking really nice here. That's our Trick Room. We're gonna Parting Shot out the Cali, and we're gonna go for a Psychic into the Rilla. I don't need Deoxys around to win the game, I think. They protect here, which is fine because they take some more poison damage. I don't know if they target the Deoxys or they target the Instant, because they kind of need to chip damage to Instant as well, but I'm not 100%. Yeah, I had a feeling that they might do this as well. Perfect. Because I had a suspicion I could see Miraidon coming in, so they have an offensive pressure of Astral Barrage, Electro Drift, the Instant for the board, so that's why I decided to go for this. Because if they knocked out Deoxys, at least I got a free switch, so I prevent the, so I could go like Rilla and Grassy Glide threaten the Miraidon, so this works out huge for me. So I get rid of the Miraidon, and now Cali's trapped on the field, and Cali is on the timer as well as a Rillaboom, so all right, good. Rilla in. They also have to be careful about their Astral Barrages, because if they ever go for Astral Barrage, it's like super weird into my Deoxys. I think my play is to always go Overquill and Protect here. Unfortunately, I don't think I can seal this up guaranteed with Timer. I don't know, this is still like not an easy position because it really depends on the Calyrex moveset, but it's not terrible. I think it depends on what they go for. This is probably fake out Astral, or maybe it could be like, I don't think you can plot here. A Terra 2, which is actually really good because I'm assuming it's not Terra Ghost, which means they're vulnerable to fake out now. Oh, they are Terra Ghost actually. Wait, that makes it a bit weird. Astral Barrage is doing more damage. Okay, there's no way you didn't go for Astral Barrage here, right? Okay. Okay. This is gonna do a lot. Not as much as I was thinking. Okay. So what's interesting about this board state is they only have 4 Astral Barrages left, which is not that much. So if I stall this out, I think I'm in a pretty good shape. And I think I can stall it out. I protect you and I attempt to Trick Room because I think the only way they can guarantee the knockout to Overquill is by going for a single target Astral. And if you Grassy Glide to Deoxys, you don't get the as 1 boost, which is important because if you don't get the as 1 boost, I'm in a decent shape. I think I just Terra Blast here. And if you do try to go for the as 1 boost, problem going for the as 1 boost here is that you're down to 2 power points of Astral Barrage. which means that Overquill might actually be able to wall to Cali if I get the calls right. Because this is Astral Barrage number 6. So they only have 2 power points of Astral Barrage left. Okay. Their +1 special attack. Take a life orb. I also think I should go Rilla here. Overquill is also healing very nicely. Also, the Cali could be in range of Glide plus some poisons coming up. So I think I just go Rillaboom here. Oh, wait. I could lose on timer. Wait, I might lose on timer. Wait, I gotta speed this up. I gotta speed this up. Oh no, I might lose on timer. Oh, which stinks because I think I have it. Oh wait, can I insure this? I think I can. How many turns of Grassy are left? 3, okay, yeah. I think I should have this. Oh, I think I had this game locked if it wasn't for timer, but I guess with timer I can still have this locked, I think. Because I need to ensure the KO on Rillaboom here, I think, in order to win on timer. But we'll see if I'm right. Because Rillaboom should go down to the poisons. Astral Barrage is going to be fired off. KO both. Yep. Like, if it wasn't for the timer, what I would do was Grassy Glide to Cali, and then I think I would win, because I'm pretty sure with the Grassy Glide and the Life Orb recall, I don't think the Cali would have had enough turns in order to win. But I think I have to play in this way. Ensure it. Because now they can't timer stall because the Rillaboom goes down this turn. Because Rillaboom would have survived this turn if I didn't go for the fake out into it, which means they could try and force me to go for a 2v1 potential survival, I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure I ensure this with this. And I send in Overquill. I hope I get to select my moves. Okay, yeah, I should. Because it's 45 seconds and then I get a protect off and then I should be sealed with timer. I would have probably still won this game even without timer, but this just ensures it. With timer. If it wasn't for timer, Grassy Glide, I'm pretty sure seals it up. Switching out Instant, sacking both. And Overkill comes in and protect, and then Cali and Rilla should faint the same turn. This just ensures that I would win on timer based on this specific scenario, where if we had one less turn, I think I could have potentially lost. So yeah, perfect. Now we just stall out to guarantee to win here, because I'm pretty sure the Cali has nowhere near enough HP where I have plenty. Also, that's crazy. I have so little your time compared to my opponent. My opponent kind of just went in. And then we just wait till the battle ends. I'll wait for like a couple more seconds just to guarantee it. Sometimes you never know with this game because it can glitch out. Yeah, perfect. A weakness policy came in clutch. And we should win? Yeah, based on HP. Perfect. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Spooky game. But I'm very happy that the text kind of worked out, especially with the Deoxys, and I felt like I made some pretty good calls in that match as well. Arceus, Miraidon, Chiyu, Whimsicott, Urshifu, and Iron Treads. Okay, Arceus is a bit scary. It looks like normal Arceus. It doesn't look like it has a plate, but something I will have to keep in mind. The HO stuff can be a bit scary with this team, especially since I don't know what exactly what I want to expect here. Am I bringing the Ho-Oh? Probably. I think Overquill is being left behind in this matchup. Wellspring is also probably being left behind in this matchup. I think it's just Deoxys, Ho-Oh, Incin, and Rillaboom. And I think the Terra, it might depend because I do have Terra Ground on the Deoxys, and it was mainly to help against like dealing damage to Chiyu, but it's actually good offensively here, but I'll figure it out. It's either going to be the Ho-Oh or it's going to be the Deoxys. Terra Ground seems really good though. It seems really good. I'm leading Incin because if they lead Arceus, I want to know if it's Clear Amulet on Arceus, and if it is, I want to see if I can get a Wisp off immediately. Because Arceus is a big threat. His extreme speed does a ton of damage. Granted, I do have Whirlwind, but it's not enough sometimes. Iron Treads plus Arceus is fine. Wait, I led Ho-Oh? What? Oh, I led wrong. I thought I led Incin. Okay, that's not good. That's really not good. Oh, if I led Incin, this was... I thought I led Incin. I guess I mistook it. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't think I can tear the Deoxys as planned, so I guess we're gonna go for Trick Room. I think we're just gonna go Incin. If this is Clear Amulet, this is really, really bad on Arceus. Okay, it's not Clear Amulet, so that's helpful. Oh, it's Clear Amulet Treads. It goes for Rock Slide, which is not terrible. Oh wait, they both have Rock Slide? The heck? Deoxys the goat though. Deoxys the goat, okay. Interesting turn. All right, I don't know what to even expect from that. I think I'm just gonna I can't tell what this Arceus is. I don't think it protects either. I think I'm just gonna parting shot out and try to get Rillaboom in. They switch out the Tread Sphere into Flare Blitz. That makes sense to me. Rhydon? Urshifu, okay. Dark Ursh. Good to know. It's not Water Ursh, it's Dark Ursh. This is a free Ho-Oh swap at least. I just don't know if I'm gonna Terra or not. We're gonna bring in Ho-Oh. Because Rock Slide doesn't do too much. And Psychic for damage. So at least I got some damage. If it was Water Ursh, I would have wanted Psychic the other slot, but this works out. Sword Stance. Okay, it is Sword Stance. Lefties. I think I always just go Incin, and I think I'm just going to go for my Fairy Terra. I'm just going to draw off a Sacred Fire into the Ursh because I don't want to take the Rock Slides or the Wicked Blows for a ton of damage. Like, I really don't want Rock Slide, Wicked Blow, double up into Ho-Oh. So we go Incin, get another Intimidate round, and then we can threaten the Willis the next turn. And if we get the burn on Urshifu, we're in such a good position. This is manageable, but I got to watch out for the Miraidon timing as well. So there's quite a few things I have to watch out for. Granted, I don't think I need my Terra Ground on Deoxys at this point. Because having a Draco switch is kind of nice. Having a Draco switch is nice. We will go for Terra with our Ho-Oh. We are going to be weak to the Iron Treads Iron Head, but that's fine. And if it's only Steel Roller, I can only use it once. So Fairy Terra. It attacked, which is cool. As we Sacred Fire attempt, they don't have a Sacred Fire switch. I mean, Miraidon can switch, but I guess. Good Sword Stance play on their part. I think I live +1 extreme speed with both Pokemon, so I should be fine. I hope Incin survives with a +1 extreme speed. Should. But yeah, I'm just going to go for Will-O-Wisp and I'm going to go for Sacred Fire. If I get the burns, I'm in a really, really good spot. And I mean really, really good spot. So it's 100% worth to go for the Will-O-Wisp attempt here. And I think we always whisk the Arceus here. I could whisk the Ursh, but there's a chance Ursh switches down to Miraidon, so I think that it's better to just target down this slot here. Let's see, what are you gonna do? Ursh switches out, that should be Miraidon then. Yep. Did they protect Arceus or did they go for another Sword Stance? Either way, this is still pretty good position. Oh, don't tell me this is Terra Normal or Terra Fire. There we go. Why? What does oh, for fake out. Okay. I was like, huh? Extreme speed. Yeah, I knew my Instant would live. I knew my Instant would live. That's the gold Instant spread right there. All right. Beautiful Wisp off into Arceus. Beautiful Wisp off into Arceus. And we land a Sacred Fire. Massive. Did we get the burn? No burn, but that's fine. Okay. Nice. Overall, very successful turn. Last turn of Trick Room. I do want to swap out, preserve the Instant. We'll go out into Rilla, and we're going to Sacred Fire the... Do we want Sacred Fire? I don't want to Whirlwind because if they Volt Switch Miraidon and I Whirlwind them back into Miraidon, I think I'm in an awful position. So I guess we're going to Sacred Fire to Miraidon because there is a chance for a burn. We do need to save Sacred Fires though, because we need one for Treads. So this could get a bit of spooky, but either regardless, pretty ideal position. Extreme speed again. I was about to say, what was that damage? No burns. They go for Electro Drift, but they take Rocky Helmet, which is nice. So they actually are pretty low on HP at the current moment. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Also, why did Extreme Speed do so much damage? That was plus... What? Why did crit do so much? I know... It just seems like it should have done way less. Alright, I'm going to Woodhammer to Miraidon, and I'm going to go for Life Dew, because there is a chance that they do go out into, like, Urshifu, which is pretty reasonable, so I am going to Life Dew and try to heal up my Rillaboom a bit. They might go for a Swords Dance again with Arceus. I think that's their best play, but regardless, I think that's a fine trade-off here. Because then I'll Whirlwind them afterward and switch out my Rillaboom. As long as Rillaboom survives the turn, which I think it should be in a good spot. Granted, the crit doesn't put me in the best spot. Okay, they do switch out, which is what I expected. Who's coming in? Ursh. Yep. Nice. And they do Swords Dance again. So this is the best case scenario. Because I can Whirlwind the Arceus out the following turn and then bring in Instant. So I heal both my Pokemon, which is really good. Because my Rillaboom is still pretty healthy. Even after this Woodhammer recoil I'm about to take from doing a bunch of damage to Ursh. Yeah. But the more important part is I can still pivot it in against Miraidon. Dealing with the Ursh is still going to be a little bit annoying, but granted, we do go out into Instant and we sack it off here, and we're going to Whirlwind the... We're going to Whirlwind the Arceus, because if it goes to +5, we're in a lot of trouble. I don't know if they're going to go to +5. That's ideal if they go to +5. If they Extreme Speed, it's fine. The Extreme Speed looks super close in Rilla. I'm curious if this is Sucker Punch plus Extreme Speed, or if they go for Protect Sword Stance, which also would make sense to me. Bring out the Instant. Unfortunately, I won't be able to knock off the Arceus' leftovers, but granted, I still think this is still a decent position. A Wicked Blow immediately. Are they Scarf? Or is it just that slow? Okay. Whirlwind here is ideally... Oh, Life Orb. Okay. That's ideal. Free Whirlwind here. What would I want? Miraidon, ideally. If it's treads, it's annoying. Okay. Because I can grassy glide to Ursh. Or I can fake out the Ursh. I probably fake out the Ursh. Actually, I just go on Arilla. I think Ursh should protect always. I just don't know if Miraidon stays in. If it stays in, then I want to fake it out. And if it switches out, I would like to punish a switch. I think this is a really important call. I think this is a really important call. Because I either got to KO the Ursh or I got to go for the Miraidon. I think I'm going to target the Miraidon down. Just life do. Nice. Okay, I got that play right, which is huge. Because if they switched out Miraidon, it would have actually been very problemsome because they could swap back Miraidon. That's Cloak. Okay, I survived the attack though, which is huge, and I get a life too. Okay. The fact that it was Cloak was actually very sus, but this actually works out huge for me. Are they Sucker Punch though? I gotta read what they're doing into my Rillaboom slot. If they Sucker Punch, I need to swap to Deoxys. If they stay in, I need to Grassy Glide. I think I'm gonna hope that they Sucker Punch. They retreat Miraidon, that makes sense. Into treads. Oh, they switch out Ursh too. Into Arceus. Okay, wait, hold on. This is interesting. The thing is, I am playing down. They do have weakened Mons, but I am also pretty weak myself at this point. Decent damage to the Arceus, but it recovers a lot with Grassy and lefties. I also need to turn to Sacred Fire the treads, which is a problem. Which means because Steel Roller is just going to threaten a knockout into Ho-Oh, so I need to Trick Room. At least I have a position where I can get Trick Room up, which is massive. But I have to navigate the Arceus and the treads at the same time. Granted, double up won't KO my Deoxys, so that's one really positive note. We'll have to figure out the rest as we go along because there's not like an easy answer per se here in the upcoming turns. I just need to navigate this correctly. I need to hope that they Steel Roller here. That's step one. Oh, it's just Iron Head. Okay. I think Ho would survive Iron Head, so maybe I don't have to worry about the treads nearly as much. Forest Dance makes sense. Okay. This Arceus though is not an easy mon to stop. Also, the game's been going on for quite a while, but we're not in timer range yet. Sacred Fire KOs treads. I think we just go for Psychic and we go for Sacred Fire. I am running low on Sacred Fire power points though, but they didn't protect, so I get a huge Sacred Fire off. That's nowhere near enough damage actually, but I do get a burn. That's really lucky. Okay, that's a really lucky burn. Psychic into the Arceus. They did Extreme Speed, so did they Force Dance again? Okay. Interesting. And after the Iron Head Rocky Helmet chip, it should be in Psychic. Oh, that did nothing. Wait, that did nothing. That really did nothing. Huh. Maybe I overestimated Iron Treads because I'm used to like Choice Band and Life Orb damage. Layer Amulet did no damage. Okay. I'm still gonna have trouble dealing with the Arceus in the late game, it looks like, but right now I can threaten Psychic and Whirlwind. Yeah. It's always a play. I mean, I would have been lower, but now I'm definitely out of extreme speed range. I thought Sacred Fire would have done more, but I guess I'm underestimating Tread's physical defense. It's not like terrible, I suppose, but I thought Sacred Fire would do a bit more, you know, a bit more. No extreme speed, so I do get the Psychic off and KO to Tread, so Treads goes down. Did they source? There's no way you went for a +6. Shadow Claw? Rock Slide. Hi. I did nothing. And I don't flinch, thankfully, so I do get the Whirlwind off, which is massive. Who would I want out? Probably Miraidon? Or maybe Ursh. Miraidon, okay. Like, Eater was probably fine. I don't get the Grassy Terrain recovery for this turn, but the Ursh also doesn't get it, which is kind of massive. All right. So it's a 3v3 situation, but it's actually looking pretty decent here. Ursh comes in. They need to make a hard, like, they have to make some hard reads, I think, right now. Because I could Sacred Fire and switch to Rilla, which is pretty safe, but I think the Ursh protects, and I don't know what the Miraidon does. So I think I'm going to attempt a Life Dew. Because they got to be worried about Deoxys attacking, right? Or maybe they aren't. I'm really hoping this is Protect or Sucker Punch attempt. Yeah, okay, perfect. Got them there, so I got them again. Oh, Double Protect is massive. Free Life Dew. Massive. That is massive. Okay, I am so up on the board now. Because I get all this recovery. And now Grassy Glide Sacred Fire is looking super strong here. But I still lose to Arceus Revenge Sweep? I don't think I can. Based on how much the Rock Slide did, probably not. But I'm running out of moves, which is the problem part. But then again, I think Deoxys could probably stall the Arceus at this point. We go for Grassy Glide plus Sacred Fire. I think the Ursh needs to either switch out into the Arceus, which is a good move on their part. Granted, Arceus is still taking a lot of damage. I guess next turn could still be spooky, but I should be fine. Did they Volt Switch? They need to Volt Switch here. Arceus took a lot of damage. Also, there's only 3 turns on the timer. Also, Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, I think they lose. Yeah, I could easily stall this out now. Because my Pokemon are just way too healthy. Because I think I just U-turn out into the Miraidon, and I think I just Life Dew here. I guess if they get Ursh in, it's a bit weird. But they're not risking the Arceus switching to Ursh. No way. I think the spam Life Dew is fine. You go for Draco, which I'll tank. I get a Life Dew off. Well, they Rock Slide. Okay, I guess I could flinch here. No flinch, which is massive for the HP number. We do get the Life Dew off, and I don't want to give them a free switch to Ursh because Ursh could get a KO onto my left slot. I do flinch, but granted, I don't think they have enough turns to win the game. Yeah, I don't think they have enough turns to win the game. Also, Draco just did no damage. I guess Draco Crit could be an out, but pretty rough for them. I guess I should Grassy Glide to Arceus and Life Dew again. I guarantee to win as long as I survive the turn. Yeah, I just life do again. I guess... Actually, there is no safe play. I think I life... Okay, the extreme speed, so I get a grassy glide guaranteed. So even if we get to 2v2, I win based on HP regardless. Okay. Alright, that was actually a little bit spooky because the only way I saw that they could get out was extreme speed into Draco crit into my Rilla. But they had to get that specific play. But I don't know. Since they're not specs, Draco crit probably did knock out Rilla without the extreme speed. So I would get the KO on the Arceus because Grassy Glide would go before the Draco, which means I always trade a Mon and then I win based on HP percentage. So I think I would have been fine, but yeah. And I only played this way because of timer, because I would have played differently by getting Deoxys in. But because I had timer, I could go for this route instead, which was just safer. Ursh comes out, but the game's over at this point. So yeah, like my play would always be to just probably just Grassy Glide the Ursh and Sacred Fire to Ursh would always be my play here. And yeah, 3-2, and even if it was 2v2, I had like 75, 80-ish% Deoxys alongside a pretty healthy Ho-Oh versus low health Miraidon and low health Urshifu, so timer I would have always won. So we do get that game to time. But spooky though, Dark Ursh was definitely a little bit scarier. I was thinking it would be Water Ursh, and I thought like, oh, this is probably fine. And it wasn't fine because Dark Ursh actually does threaten. So it did force Terrestrialization, but granted, like, I guess I didn't have to go for Terra Ground with Deoxys as we saw in that game. It would have been helpful, but it was nice. But yeah, just being able to kind of get rid of one of their Mons immediately, and then they were down behind, and then was able to set up for a pretty good endgame. Calyx, Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, Xianpao, Dragonite, Urshifu, Tornado is very, very fun. Very fun. Okay. What I want to do here. Do I want to lead Ensign or probably lead Ensign still? Do I bring Rillaboom or not is the question. I feel like Wellspring's probably better, right? I just don't know what they're leading. Are they leading Calyx, Urshifu? If they're leading Calyx, Urshifu, I think Deoxys plus Ensign should be fine here as a lead. Yeah, it should be fine. I'll bring the Ho-Oh in the back, and then I would like Overquill in this matchup too, but it's not necessary, right? T-Spike's nice, but yeah, it's not necessary. I think I bring Ogerpon. All right, let's see how this goes, because this is definitely a very unique matchup. I thought about Calyx, Shower, Zamazenta when crafting this version. Let's see if weakness policy. Okay, Torn plus Zamazenta is pretty nice for me. Okay. I do have the pressure active, which is nice, and I can go for fake out Trick Room pretty safely here, which is super ideal. I could also just go out into Ho-Oh as well, which is not bad. I'm actually surprised they led this. I thought they were always thinking Urshifu to pressure the Ho-Oh slot, but this works out huge for me. We're going to go for Trick Room, and we're going to go for fake out immediately. It could be Terra Ghost. Are you Terra Ghost? I don't think so. They're Terra Ghost. I should have switched into Ho-Oh, but we'll see. Okay, they just protect here, which is fine. I don't know what they expect from my Deoxys. Fake out gonna go into the protect on the Zamazenta. Aunt? Bleak Wind? Bleak Wind. Okay, perfect. Nice dodge, Ensign. Very nice dodge. Speed drop. That's actually help. That's not really like impactful at all, because I should be slower regardless. Now I can get a huge wisp off into the Zamazenta, and I like the idea of getting some psychic damage off into the Torn. So I do have to hit a wisp, but I mean, that is what I have to do to risk it, and I think that's fine. I could have also went Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh is also not too bad, but I do want to really reduce the damage of the body press like immediately, because I don't want Deoxys taking a bit of damage from body press. I don't think it does that crazy amount of damage, but like, I think it's better regardless to have that immediate wisp pressure into the Zamazenta. We're gonna see Terra come out. Are you Fire Terra? No way. Era Dragon. Okay. They were scared of like some fire mover or something, I suppose, but that works out fine for me. They can't Terra to Kali, which is actually really important. Protect Torn, which is fine. Come on, Ensign. Psychic into the Torn. Nice. Big Wisp hit. Big Wisp hit. They should probably be body pressing the Instant slot then, which I'll definitely be able to eat with ease. If I had taken the Bleakwind, I might have swapped out into my Ho earlier, but now like I had no reason to. Now I can go for a Parting Shot into the Torn and Psychic as well, which is really nice. So I'm going to go for Psychic and Parting Shot into the Torn, get some damage off, as well as that special attack drop, so it's doing a lot less, and then I can bring out like my Instant again. I can Life do spam. I'm feeling pretty good about this spot right now. Like, my advantage is pretty nice. I just got to make sure I don't get snowballed by the Shadow Rider in the late game. So free Psychic into Torn does some pretty good chip damage. Parting Shot coming out. Unfortunately, I'm just not going to be able to activate the weakness policy, but that's fine. I wonder if I can get another Trick Room up against these two Mons, but we do go into Ho-Oh. Yes, they do go for Bleakwind. Does nothing. That does nothing. And Body Press. And they'll take Rocky Helmet damage residual as well, which is beautiful. That was a crit. I was like, dang, that did a bit more. But nope, that's a crit. All right, pretty nice. Pretty nice turn so far. We're going to keep building up this damage here. I think I'm going to go for a Psychic actually into... I think I still target Torn. I don't think Zama's that big of a threat currently. And we just spam Life do at the current moment. Get some HP back. Have our Deoxys healthy. And then I guess the question is, can I beat the Shadow Rider? I should have like quite a bit of tools to beat the Shadow Rider, especially since I have Terrestrialization still available on Ogerpon. Torn, I definitely want to like put on the pressure though. They do protect the Torn, but again, I could have Psychic in the Zama for extra chip. It's not like, I don't think I need to go for any unnecessary plays at the moment. I just need to chip them at the current moment. I think this is fine. I'm kind of curious on what the Zama does. It probably targets down my Deoxys with Heavy Slam or Body Press. They're really not doing much damage though. Yeah, Heavy Slam does nothing. Does nothing. Last turn of Trick Room. I kind of like the idea of just going for a Psychic into the Torn as well as another Life do round. You might be thinking, oh, I could Sacred Fire. I don't really want to Sacred Fire and get the double up knockout in a Torn because I don't want to give them a free switch. Granted, I could have probably Sacred Fire to Zama here, but I think the extra HP does matter onto the Shadow Rider, mainly because of the fact that maybe I should have Sacred Fire actually, because I have to worry about Encore Shadow Rider. Shadow Rider comes in. Because on these teams, they tend to run... Actually, do they run Encore Shadow Rider? I know the Chienpao Dragonite stuff do, but Torn Ursh isn't like the last two usually, if I remember correctly. They do have Taunt. Okay, so they do reveal the Taunt, which is fine. As I get a free Psychic off into the Torn. Another Life do round. Like, here's the thing. I have pretty healthy Mons at this point in the game. They go for Body Press. As you can see, not any damage. Unfortunately, I can't phase out anything. They're gonna taunt my Ho-Oh, right? You should taunt my Ho-Oh at this point in the game. I think we just spam Psychic into you and we go back to Insane. Because there's no way they're body pressing the Ho-Oh. They switch out to the Zamazenta. Okay. No way, Shadow Rider. Are you risking Shadow Rider here? Oh, I am glad I Psychic that slot. I am glad I Psychic that slot. Let me just say that. They taunt my Ursh or taunt my Instant slot, right? To prevent life dues, or are they gonna... Okay, yeah. I thought it was either this or Bleakwind, but Bleakwind wasn't doing too much damage. I get a free Psychic off into the Ursh for some pretty good damage. Now I can just go for Fake Out Psychic into the Ursh slot. They could go Shadow Rider here for the Ursh, which is a little bit concerning, but I should be fine still. I think a lot of this is just going to... Because if I get rid of Ursh, I can Terra with Deoxys, which is kind of huge. Oh, they're not Scarfish. I thought they were Scarfish. Okay. Interesting. Are they Rain Dance Surging the next turn then? A Bleak Wind here. Deoxys avoids. Instant takes a bit. Okay. D-drop. All right. I guess I'm just gonna go to Wellspring here. I really don't want to risk my... Yeah, I think I just go to Wellspring now. What are they? Bleakwind, Storm, Protect. Oh no, it's Tailwind, Taunt. They don't have Rain. Granted, I don't want my Deoxys taking too much damage. I don't think they KO my Ursh here, so I think what I do is I just go for a Parting Shot again. Bring in... No, this works. Yeah. I just do this. I switch out my Deoxys to go out into my Wellspring because they're probably going for Surging plus Bleakwind Storm again, which is fine. Or they go for Taunt. Okay. Wait, I can't follow me. I was hoping I could follow me the next turn for Trick Room, but unfortunate there. Oh, they actually do KO my instant, but that's fine. Okay. Actually, the Shadow Rider is still not easy. I tear my Ho-Oh. I guess I'm gonna go on a Deoxys though. Deoxys seems like a good call. Might have gotten a bit confusing here because the Earth should be faster than my Wellspring, which makes this a bit weird. I think I have to go for the KO into the Ursh too. They got me. I didn't think they would taunt my Deoxys, but they couldn't knock out the Deoxys. I thought they wanted to keep the instant around, but they got rid of one of my pivoting pieces. I guess I just protect. Because even though they're going to, if they Surging, like it's not great, but I want to deny the taunt here, which I think denying the taunt is more impactful because there is a world I go for Terra Ground Trick Room against the Shadow Rider the upcoming turn. But can I even do that? They're not Bleak Winding here. They're taunting, right? Yeah. I guess I could have gotten a double knockout. Maybe I should have went Ho-Oh. I think I should have went Ho-Oh. Because if I went Ho-Oh, they took the Rocky Helmet recoil. But granted, Ho-Oh would have taken a lot of damage. I don't know. I don't think it would have been worth it. I think granted, this is still fine. Because I get the Horn Leech off into the Ursh. And then it comes down to the Shadow Rider set. Are you like Life Orb or are you Sash? Because they tend to run like a Solvus Pal on these teams. But I can't figure it out now. It might have been Mystic Water Ursh. Shadow Rider comes in. That's not like too surprising. Ivy Cudgel doesn't knock out the Shadow Rider, so I Horn Leech first. Yeah, I just go out in a Ho-Oh and I click Horn Leech with Terra. With my Terra. And I go for Horn Leech so I can maybe live in another Astral Barrage. If this is really offensive Shadow Rider, I might lose here. Like on the dot. Because if it's like Specs and it blows me up, that's a problem. Granted, it can't go for Terra Ghost Astral Barrage. Thankfully. That's like the one positive that we have here. Is that they can't go for that option. But we'll see. Bring out the Ho-Oh. And Terra Water so I can get my Embody Aspect for the special defense boost so I can take on the attacks better. Ogerpon needs to clutch up here. Alright. How much does your Shadow Rider do with Astral Barrage? Okay. Oh, it's not specs at all. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. That did a lot less than I thought. Covering, I don't think I'm out of Astral Barrage range. Oh, that's close. Why'd you crit that turn? Well, it could have been worse. They could have Astral Barrage crit me. Sacred Fire KO, I guess, is a good question as well. I think Sacred Fire should KO to Cali, especially if I get a burn. It's definitely no bulk Cali. At least I'm pretty sure it's no bulk. They might protect Cali, which is fine. They don't. Okay, that means they're going for Astral Barrage again. All right. Need Ho to clutch up with the Sacred Fire here and hopefully knock out the Cali. Because if we do, I think we just win. Bleak wins. Okay. Another speed drop, that's fine. Get the Sacred Fire, that's good. And we KO Cali. Okay, I think we have this sealed. Okay. Got a bit close because I wasn't sure if I was living Bleak Wind into Astral Barrage with Ogre Pawn. And I needed to make sure that I could switch out Ho so I can get Regenerator. Because if I don't get Regenerator, I just lose, I think. Now I'm pretty sure that Ho should seal the end game once I get rid of Torn, because once Torn is gone, I can spam Life Dew to win. I'm probably just going to go for Body Press plus Bleak Wind. This is fine if they do. Body Press. Yeah, it doesn't KO with the Bleak Wind because of the fact that they don't have the defense boost from earlier since they switch out Zamazenta. So once I get rid of Torn, I guarantee win. Okay. That got a bit spooky. Like, just playing against Shadow Rider is always a threatening mon, especially when I only brought one resist. But huge. Huge. Now I just beat this guaranteed because I can switch out the Ogre Pawn into Ho-Oh. I can Trick Room because they can't knock out my Deoxys, and then I spam Life Dew and I guarantee to win. Even if they crit me with Body Press, I don't even know if that knocks out the Deoxys at this point. So yeah, all I need is to get the Ho-Oh in. They can't win on timer, so that's what they're trying. Yeah, I'm gonna be forfeit. The Zama can't win at this point. So beautiful. Beautiful. Deoxys-Defense. I think the lead ended up being really good because they didn't lead Shadow Rider or Ursh, which I was surprised by. I didn't even bring the D-Knight, so ended up working out really well for Ho-Oh plus my Deoxys-Defense, because as you saw, was kind of just able to wall out their team. Also surprised since they had Taunt, they didn't go for Taunt turn one, because I think like denying a Trick Room or like any setup that the Deoxys could carry, like I'm kind of surprised they let me, but maybe they were like, okay, maybe Terra Dark's an option. All right, we have that solo Dondozo on this team. Lunala, Groudon, Incineroar, Dondozo with Whimsicott and Raging Bolt. I'm just still surprised to see a solo Dozo on this team especially. Okay. That's gonna be interesting. How do I want to approach this one? Deoxys is interesting because it can stall out the Lunala's Moongeist beams, which I am hoping for in this match, and Overqwil is surprisingly decent here in this matchup. I'm trying to figure out what my best Terra is, because that's going to be a big factor. I don't know if it's Terra Ground Deoxys or not. I don't think I bring Wellspring, and Ho-Oh's tempting, but I'm not exactly sure because it might be Meteor Beam, but I think I have to bring Ho-Oh because I need the recovery, right? It's either Ho-Oh or Rillaboom. I like having the Precipice Blade switch, I think. I think I like the idea of leading Incin. Or maybe it's just lead Overquill. I'm out of time. I'm actually good. I don't think this is a good idea. I'm leading with both my Instant and my Overquill, which I don't love because it's obviously weak to Groudon, like very heavily weak to Groudon. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. I kind of had to panic there because I was debating about like what move do I want to lock into. We're going to see Groudon plus a Raging Bolt, which is not a great lead for me. Okay. I would really love to burn the Groudon if possible. Oh, I just realized I didn't bring the best instance of Raging Bolt either. Raging Bolt's going to be tough to stall out with this team because I normally would have had like a Tinglu or something. But yeah, this is going to be pretty scary of a position. Intimidate going to go off. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, interesting. Interesting. It's not clear Amulet Groudon, so this makes it really interesting then. Okay, I think I'm gonna go then for a Toxic Spike immediately and probably a Fake Out immediately. Yeah, I might as well just set up the T-Spike and go for a Fake Out into the... I don't want to Terra Bug yet. I don't have to. I think I'm just gonna Fake Out T-Spike. They might go for Precipice Blades. I will take a bunch of damage, but they actually switch out, which is really good for me. So I get a free T-Spike up, which is really nice. And we're gonna see what come in. Gonna be the Dondozo. So the Groudon's getting poison regardless, so that's actually a pretty nice poison to get on the Groudon in the upcoming turns as we get a T-Spike. Very, very solid. Not too worried about the Dondozo at this moment of the game. I think we want to get damage into the Raging Bolt because that Raging Bolt is very, very threatening. I think they're probably going to target down the Instant, so I'm just going to go for a... I want to knock off or do I want a Parting Shot immediately? I think I want to just go for a Parting Shot immediately. Yeah. They go for Thunderbolts. They target down the Instant, which makes sense. This is going to do a lot. Yeah, because of that Life Orb and Special Attack Booster, it does a ton of damage. Get a Bar Barrage off into the Raging Bolt. That does a lot of damage. If I went for knockoff, it would have done more. But more importantly, we get this Parting Shot off into the Raging Bolt, which is very solid. Getting that Special Attack drop into the Raging Bolt and setting up for like our methods to stall is pretty good. I think we'll go out into Ho-Oh. Or we could go Deoxys. I kind of like Deoxys. Deoxys should be pretty safe here. Unless they yawn. But that's fine too. Okay. Okay, buddy. Okay. Chill. 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 Oh boy. They have Fissure. That's not good. All right, we're going to stall out another power point of Fissure and scout for what they want to do. We can also stall out some Sun Turns, which actually might benefit us as well. Double Protect here and see what they decide. Hey, going to go out into. They're going to go for a Thunderbolt into the Overquill and Fissure into Deoxys, I imagine. Fissure. Nice. Okay, so that's 3 Fissures gone because of Pressure. So that's actually really nice of what the ability on Deoxys allows us to do. So now we can go for a Throat Chop, which should KO the Raging Bolt after a Life Orb recoil. And we're going to go out into Ho-Oh. I might be risking Ho-Oh on a potential Thunderbolt, but I should live with Thunderbolt after that Parting Shot, I imagine. So, and then I can recover the HP with Regenerator and Life Dew. So I should be fine, I think. But yeah, we want to stall out the Dondozo's Fissures. So 4 Fissures gone, which is really good. They go for Thunderbolt into Overquill, which I'll tank. Yep. That actually still did a lot more than I thought. I mean, that's the power of Raging Bolt for you. Throat Chop. Barely missing knockout, actually. And they go for Yawn. Okay. Which isn't super ideal, but granted, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Can I let Ho go to sleep in this matchup? Am I going to risk them going for Fissure? I mean, the Overquill Protect I think is super obvious. I could go Deoxys, but I just don't know. They might attempt to Fisher again. Trying to think of what's better here. Do I risk Deoxys or not? I think it's always worth it to risk Deoxys here, unfortunately. I think it's always my best play. Especially if the Groudon doesn't have a rock move, Ho is able to stall out effectively. Bring out the Deoxys that's floating. And protect the Overqwil. Let's see if they Thunderbolt the Overqwil slot or they target the Ho-Oh. They targeted the Overqwil, which makes sense. Man. Okay. I should have risked Instant. I was just worried if they Thunderbolt doubled that slot. I can still win. I can still win. It's very hard though. It's very hard. All right, we bring out the Ho-Oh. I'm going to set up a second layer of T-Spikes for the extra damage, and I'm just going to Sacred Fire the Raging Bolt and just hope that I'm faster than Raging Bolt at this point. They're faster, so they get a Thunderbolt off. It's not looking good for me. Bad para. Really bad para. I mean, the Raging Bolt does go down. I get a Sacred Fire, I suppose, into the Dondozo. Potentially burn as well, although I don't know if the burn is what I want. Okay, they go for Yawn. That's fine. I get a second layer. Okay, I do get a second layer. Oh. Sure. I'm just wondering if Ho can win the end game. I feel like he definitely can, but it depends on the Groudon set. Because I'm very scared about what the Groudon has. Groudon? Yep. I think I need everything poisoned on their team if I want a chance. I think I'm just gonna go for Protect. And actually, can I go for Protect? Can I afford to go for Protect? Terra wise, my best Terra is Ho-Oh. But it depends on what their set is. I could swap out Ho-Oh in the Instant and Protect, but I would really love the Dondozo to get poisoned here. I think if they have a rock move, I just gotta hope I dodge it. I think that's my best out. I'm gonna Whirlwind and attempt to Protect. I get parried. Unlucky game. They do have Rock Slide. I mean, Overqwil dodges, that's helpful, I suppose. Liquidation. Double up doesn't KO. They get hit by a Rocky Helmet. And I don't get parried, which is a miracle, so I am able to get the retreat here. But is this enough? I don't know if I can beat the Groudon. It's probably a Salvus Groudon. A Lunala comes in. If I didn't get parried, if the Overqwil's faster than these, I could have threatened the Lunala with a Throat Chop. Granted, I don't think I'm outspeeding Lunala because they don't usually run min speed Lunala. Everything is getting poisoned though, which maybe gives me a shot to win, but I just don't think it will, especially with Ho-Oh falling asleep, which is pretty bad. If I knew the Rock Slide miss was happening to Overqwil, then I should have went Instant for the Intimidate. I mean, I always go for a double Protect here and I swap to Instant, I suppose, but yeah, this is not looking good. Because I don't think Ho is going to have enough turns to stall out, and Life Dew is only 25% recovery on the Ho, even if single target. Imagine if Life Dew was 50%. The Life Dew being 50% would be pretty insane if it's a single target. They do Terra here, which I guess this is going to be the Lunala. Yeah. Gonna be into Fairy Terra. I mean, Barbarage would do a lot if I can get a Barbarage off. I just don't think I can ever get a Barbarage off. Maybe if the Groudon misses attacks. Go for Moonblast into what was the whole slot. And Rock Slide again? They really risk attack from the Overquill? They did. Okay. Maybe this is doable then. Maybe. I need them to heavily... Actually, can I? I mean, I have a Regenerator Elf, but I don't think I can. Okay, no, I can. I need a Rock Slide dodge here. Yeah, I need a Rock Slide dodge badly. You go for Barbarage and first turn. You might think, oh, why don't you just Fairy Terra? If I Fairy Terra, then they can just spam Blades. And if they spam Blades, I pretty much just always lose. Although I would probably do it the next turn anyway. Actually, maybe it's still better to go for the Fairy Terra. I'm debating the odds here, and it's probably better to just Fairy Terra and attempt it, because my hope is that they double up the whole slot with Rock Slide plus an attack. Ho survives both, and then I get a Barbarage KO into Lunala, and then maybe I could beat the Dondozo plus the Groudon. That's again looking very unlikely. Moonblast is probably turning to Overquill. Now it targets the whole slot. Okay. Oh, I don't live the Rock Slide. That did more than I thought. Wait, there was a dodge? Okay. We need Overquill to clutch up. Oh, sleep. That was fine. Also, I'm slower than the Groudon, which is really bad. And Overquill, unfortunately. Throwing the match. Unlucky. Unlucky. Man. I need to get like the impossible here and like triple protect. I need to wake up and triple protect, but unfortunately that will seal it, because then they just Moonblast here and then it's just like over. Can I win if Overquill gets all the protects? Maybe. I guess I'll still attempt it. Like, Overquill needs to get a triple protect through paralysis, man. Like, that doesn't seem like me. I don't even know if triple protect is good enough. I don't know if all that poison recoil will be enough. High horsepower. Surprised they're not heat crashing, but let's see. Yeah, I'm like way too low. Yeah, I just double protect. Or I just keep spamming protect and hope it's enough. Okay, yeah, triple protect gets me both of these mons and then gets Dozo in by itself. The question is, would it be enough to even win? We'll find out. Like, I'm going for it. Like, what am I supposed to do? I mean, look, the RNG was unfortunately a bit rough. It was like, it was able to be navigated through. Okay, they switch out the Groudon, which is a smart play to get in the no, this is smart play because I need more than triple protect now. Yeah, no, I can't lose. They made the right play here by switching to Dondozo. Man, Deoxys, why? And of course I get paired again. Unlucky. Like, the thing is, I think without like maybe the pair on Overquill, I might have had a chance, because as you saw, they gave me an opening for Barbarage into the Lunala earlier, as well as like if I had Deoxys on the Fisher, that was the big one. I would have had a mod, which was important. I think that was the only, I think that was like the last time I had to dodge a potential Fisher too, depending on if I get calls right on the next Fisher. But 1 out of 2. What can you do about it? What can you do? So Deoxys-Defense is definitely an interesting Pokemon. Also, I didn't realize it was base 90 speed. I misread it. I thought it had base 70 attack, special attack, and speed. I actually didn't realize it was 70 in special attack and attack, as well as 90 speed. So I guess like that matchup where we played against a Rillaboom, I was just mistaken, because Rillaboom was just like no speed investments. So yeah, I did mess up there. But yeah, Deoxys-Defense, not a bad Pokemon per se. I kind of wish it was a bit better, of course, compared to its counterpart. I wish it had a bit more like maybe attack stats, especially maybe take off 10 for the defenses, for the extra special attack could actually make a really big impact. Weakness policy, we only got to use it once, but it actually did more work than I expected with the Terragon Terra Blast, especially. Like, it was just a okay, maybe this could work kind of situation. And yeah, it was able to actually put in work. So I'm pretty happy with how the team was able to perform. We were able to kind of combine two really strong modes of like defense stall hold teams and kind of fuse it into this one. Normally they ran Tinglu, but I felt like even without Tinglu, the team was very much able to do a lot of work. So if you would like to check out the details of the team, they'll be linked in the description down below. And of course, you can check out the rest of my stuff down below in the description as well. And subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.